Let's see. So,
I'm trying to read more. This is entitled.
this is
I got very out of 40.
37.5.
The like so-called the was missing point from the sentences or the definition and the word the for the
Oh, does your professor just want
I'm not like what so-called for this week this is a discussion board which I participated and you kind of saw it last week too with the so-called for documents the good and bad of the document the feedback like suggestions of what's bad from each document.
from each textbook?
Yeah, the textbook I so-called finished that one. So this and then for the next week 13 it will be like a part of the final project. I started it but not finished with and that's the discussion board. It's a lesson plan. This is lesson plan.
Right now.
This is the lesson plan. This is
For what you're working on right now.
yeah.
Let's see. Use this.
This one writing right now. This is the top.
Are you sure? Because that's what
This is so
it says to. All right, let's go on to the instructions. See. Yeah, pictures. This is kind of
the discussion board.
oh, DB. Unit 13. close attention to things.
Mm.
Does he always have the
Sometimes, I think yes, too. And then for the videos, we don't have to for some time.
should include
In the materials, it was it's it, it, it's so called the directions, the model, and the rubric, and a template for the lesson plan. And this is just the explanation. This is part of to help with the lesson plan.
Okay. Um, let's have a look at the lesson plan first. Then after that, I'll ask you to show me the layout, see what they did here. And this is a sample.
This is just the empty template, the so-called model of the student's example for
So he just wants you to fill in each of these parts
for the template. Yes.
So finish the Great. So do you understand what information you're plugging into everybody?
Yes, I think I'll be struggling with mostly the speech objective.
These two right here.
That's what I struggled with a little bit last week. That was the so-called discussion board.
Okay, measurable and specific content objectives. That was the abbreviation. SWET. And language objectives. So their content is question that explains the difference between these two.
Oh, it was so-called last week. Last week we learned about the objectives, the content and language objectives. It was
Right. If I have a look at it, might be able to make sense of it.
Look at the how
Student. Just you know, just
is it the other one so called the language?
got it. Okay, right now it's talking about CBI. Okay, scroll down. So it was developed to prevent these two. But instead, where like which state can see that or learn kind of heard it's really popular European style TESL. So their approach is they don't just have like ESL classes where they teach English, but they attempt to incorporate lessons from other subjects, and they use the language medium to help. Kind of sounds like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. The content objective, students understand. Yeah, it's the same thing. In addition, there should be a language that fits naturally with content. So content would be whatever subjects matter. And it could be a so that's the content, which of course, right? Okay. Examples: past tense, history, conditions. Interesting. Okay. Let's continue. I don't think it's discussing any. Let's see here. Actually, go back up to the previous slide. Basic content, math, science, social studies. Teachers can make to provide comprehensive scroll back up to the previous slide, please. So I think this example right here is going to be really, really important to look at, to remind you of how you formulate your CBI, your, what is it, language based.
This one and the one.
Okay, yeah, this is really, really important. So the content is going to be the subject. So for example, history, math, that's the content. And then the language objectives will be the past tense used in the history lesson, or the conditionals used in the math lesson. So the past tense and conditionals, those are the language objectives. And then the actual subject of the lessons, history, that's going to be got it. So let's go back to the template. Let's see if it makes better sense now.
That's some ideas.
It's like it's going to be like a specific grammar lesson, the specific grammar topic. So for example, in that history, it was past tense. And then in past example that makes that is conditionals. So that would be language objective for that. And then obviously it looks like they went further in depth about this. Let's see. Measurable and specific. And that's the different habitats that animals live in: desert, forest, and water. Is this just an example, or did you write this?
The example.
But I'm talking about the document that you have opened up. Like, is that your work so far, what you've been creating?
That one I was just on was the one I was working on, and this one was the template. It was the empty template.
Okay. But what about the other one talking about the animals and their environments that they live in?
That's the one I'm working on.
So you're working on.
Yeah, that's for the discussion. Discussion.
This is actually pretty nice. I like that. So let me see. Content objectives.
I think I'm gonna.
You want to change to another idea?
No. I think I'm gonna do some changes to make sure the correct way of the objective.
Okay. All right. Goals are to learn how to name and pronounce the different habitats that animals live in. Desert, forest. Might want to alter this a little bit so it says desert, forest, water, etc. Because there are more environments than just those three. And then the root. And then these are not proper amendments, so they don't require capitalized letters. Be able to identify the different animals that live there by pictures. Yeah. And the type of habitat should be to is SWBAT, is that like your target audience or your target students?
Because from the whole example, this is the example. They put it in front of what they were saying.
Okay, that's good.
I think it's, yeah, I think that the acronym means something. So, students will be able. I think a student will be.
So, okay, students will be able to.
Yeah.
So now you can get rid of goals to we established.
I think that's what it means.
Student. That makes perfect sense to me, actually. Yeah. So students will be able to learn how to name and pronounce the different habitats that animals live in. forest, water, etc. inside of parentheses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like that. Okay, now students will be able to, now delete should be able to. It's going to make perfect sense. Students will be able to identify the different animals that live there by pictures, by their pictures.
This one?
Yes, just like that. And there's like 3 different theirs. Other pictures. Can delete of the animals. Students will be able to identify the different live instead of their type in each content. Students will be able to identify pictures in type. Pictures. Stop pictures. And then we'll give It's only the same.
I think what before was the same
Same
thing.
thing. Okay.
Just that
All right.
reword it.
Okay. Measurable and specific. See that this part right here,
Yes.
the way they're using it, that doesn't really make sense. Measurable and specific. Students will be able to, but then it stops right
The so-called for this one, these are the extra objectives for the language.
there. Okay. Okay. Language objectives. They need to be measurable and specific.
Yeah, that's the same for the template.
Yeah,
The template have it too. Yeah. And then for the example, with the students, they have it here too.
Reading objectives. Students will be able to turn that into identify. Pictures of different contents with these students Is this going to be on the worksheet, for example?
So-called the teacher said we have to display the discussion board. So we don't type it on the just right space. We're submitting this as the discussion board.
Got it. Got it.
So it's as the attachment.
But my question is, how is this lesson going to work? Like, is it going to be on a worksheet for students, or is it going to be like a computer program where they can point and click and drag animals to put them in the correct habitat? Like, what is it?
I think it will be like so-called like the previous like assignments that I did for the term paper. I did the so-called matching with the two pictures or words to match those like kind of
Drawing a line, connecting.
yeah those kind.
Okay. Now, you want to be very, very careful because you're talking about language objectives here. Okay. And you specified that this is going to be a reading objective. Ask yourself, is there reading involved in that?
I don't.
You got to be really, really careful. You want to make sure that if you're calling something a reading objective, there's reading in it. Likewise for each of these as well, if you're going to use them. Okay? That's a very, very important detail. I have a feeling your professor is going to really, point that out to you. Say, like, Mandy, there's no reading here.
Okay.
Can you think of a way possibly to turn it into a reading exercise? Like, for example, instead of having pictures of the different animals and pictures of the different habitats, why not instead write the names instead of pictures? Just write the words on the worksheet. And then instead of having the pictures of the habitats, have the actual name of the habitat. Like, instead of having a picture of a desert, have the word desert. And instead of a picture of a coyote, instead of having a picture of a coyote, have the word coyote. Maybe that as a reading objective.
Yeah.
And that way you won't have to change it too much, like start from scratch. You can still use your original idea, just switch the pictures out with the words.
Okay, yes.
So, you think you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the writing objective. And you have to do one of each, right?
Because from the example they have, they so-called would be kind of like have one, but they explained it kind of. There's a little point. Just the example of there's like objectives for each.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go back. See what we got here. So you know what to do for the reading objective.
would need a change.
Not too complicated. You don't have to start from scratch. You can keep your original idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just use words instead of pictures.
So change the word picture for word.
Yeah, and maybe that would be enough to turn it into reading.
Okay. Because so-called for this discussion board is that she's not professor's not grading it, just giving feedback for it.
Let's see, writing objectives. Write a small short story. Since we'll be able to write a small lowercase stuff. Write a small short story about place stop.
Oh,
We can just save. Students. Are they going to have to write one short story or a short story for each?
um, like choose like they choose each to write about animal and living in their habitat.
So then you pick one,
Yeah.
write a short story. So then in that case, you should change this to living in
Yes.
its case.
Stop.
Students will be short story and it's connected to species.
Mhm.
Um, See, this is good. This is a writing object.
Mhm.
So you definitely
Mhm.
see what we chose. Students will be able to verbally express
Mhm.
students will be able to express what they think about what they say, express, discuss.
Yeah.
Let's get that true. See how justification. Students will be able to verbally discuss next time. Students will be able to discuss students will be able to discuss reading. That's a short story out. Students will be able to discuss again. Short story.
This
Is the same.
and this is the whole thing.
It's do this.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah. Actually, right period after that. Period after space. Now, but this whole thing was inside parentheses. 29. The T fish swim ocean. Deer. Let's keep the tenses
Yes.
consistent.
Uh-huh.
So right here you say the fish swim in the ocean,
Mhm.
which is considered present perfect.
Mhm.
Then here you use present continuous.
Mhm.
So that can be easily changed just by deleting the S. So
Mhm.
it says the deer run. And then it'll be
Mhm.
consistent. And the snakes in the desert at night. It's cool. Do you want to keep it like this, or do you want to stay consistent with the snakes also? Because here you say the fish swim in the ocean, the deer run in the forest, but then first you go, the snakes hide in the desert at night when it's cold. See,
Mhm.
you say a little bit more for snakes. So what I'm trying to say is, do you want to stay consistent with what you have going on here? Because if you do, you would stop at desert. We would just say the snakes hide in the desert. We'll stop.
I think we'll just keep it the same.
Just like this.
I mean, like the same as that. So just delete it.
Okay, so do you want to get rid of at night when it's cold?
Yes. Mhm.
Just to
Yeah.
be consistent. Just like that. You can, in fact, you can put the period. So, so that's a good speaking job,
Mhm.
because they gotta read it. And then what's this? Go back to
This is another one of it. Speaking. It'd be another speaking. Like it'll be the group activity. They're they're asking each other questions.
share. Students will be able to delete the students. So students will be able to practice turn critically into critical. Is critical thinking and verbalizing to students will be able to practice critical like that. See, you just the first
Mhm.
to see it. So, students will be able to practice critical so rather
Yes.
place it like this,
Mhm.
you could say they can discuss the weather. Discuss discuss this
The Mhm.
this right here. So full stop. They can discuss the weather and shelter. Is that say what you're trying to say? Now we can get and then you see how you set up this example right here.
Mhm.
So that would be a good way to set this up. Just follow that. Maybe you didn't get a chance to come back. Good. So just maybe mark where we left. So
Mhm.